Guys, I've done it. I have only gone and mastered magnetism. I am truly a magnet to everything that I desire. This is a recent discovery. I realized this yesterday. I realized how prominent it was in my life and how magnetic I truly am. And it's something that I usually just kind of forget about. I don't really think about it because it's just a part of my life now. But I remember that this was not always the case. I used to be so shy, so insecure, and I would always keep myself to myself because that was all that I knew. And I never wanted to outshine anybody else. I always just stepped back and faded into the background because that's what I was used to doing. I always envied other people and put other people on a pedestal constantly. And it was never me on that pedestal. It was always other people. Nothing ever worked out for me. Nothing ever worked in my favor. And it just seemed like the whole world was out to get me. And I was so sick of it. I didn't know how to get out of that little rut that I was in. I just thought that was me. I thought that was a part of my personality and I thought that that couldn't change. I never knew in a million years that I could become the person that I've become today and the person that is sitting before you today. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you 4 tips that are going to help you become the woman of your dreams, become a magnet to all of your desires, receive princess treatment, be confident, highly regarded, highly respected by other people, and much, much more. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, keep on watching. Tip number 1, get precious with your energy. You cannot continue to let other people drain your precious, precious energy. And I know a lot of us don't look at our energy as if it's precious, and that is where the problem lies. Our energy is so sacred, and that is what is the essence of us, essentially. That is the essence of our aura, our whole self. So if you're not conscious of where your energy is going, you're probably just going to be giving it out to every Tom, Dick and Harry. I always say Tom, Dick and Harry, not just men, literally anyone. If you're constantly giving out your energy to every single person that you know, every single person who tries to make a plan with you, everyone who wants to spend time with you, if you are constantly giving them your time and your energy, you are going to find that you are going to be so energetically depleted. That is one of the top culprits of why you may not be magnetic, why people don't want to be spending time with you, why you're not attracting all of your desires into your life, why you're not receiving princess treatment. It's because people generally don't want to be spending time with people who they can sense and feel is energetically depleted and energetically drained. People want to spend time with people who have energy to give to them, to overflow to them and pour out to them. They don't want to be spending time with people who are literally just going to sit there and be a drain because they have said yes to every single social commitment that's come up and now they don't have any energy for themselves or anyone else for that matter. I know that that was me. I know that I literally just used to give out my energy to literally anyone who would show me attention, anyone who wanted to make a plan with me, anyone who wanted to do anything with me. I just felt like I should be so honored and I felt like it was my moral responsibility to say yes to that plan because how amazing that that person has considered me and asked me to do a plan. Oh, how my mindset has changed so much because now I regard my own self and my energy more than anybody else's. I know personally as well that if my energy is depleted and if I've said yes to too many things, if I've given my energy to too many people, I start to be grumpy, I start to be grouchy, I start to not be the best version of myself because I just physically don't have the energy to give to people or to myself. Nobody benefits from you giving all of your energy to other people. You need to bring it back to yourself and you need to pour it back into yourself and the things that you want to grow and develop in your life. Now, it's one thing me saying that, but it's a completely different thing knowing when your energy is being depleted and knowing when to rein it in on the social commitments and the plans and saying yes to everything. I used to find this so difficult because I just wanted to say yes to everything. Oh, I was such a yes man. Like I wanted to say yes to everything. And to be fair, there is still an element of that in me because I am quite a up for anything kind of girl, but I really have to genuinely force myself to say no to things because let's say for example, your friend asks you if you want to go out on a night out. You might actually want to go on that night out and you might want to say yes on the surface of it, like you actually might want to do that, but you know that tomorrow morning when you wake up, you're going to be feeling so drained and so low, you're going to have a hangover, you're going to feel really shit about yourself, and then you'll realize that it wasn't worth it and you'll realize that your energy has been depleted after it has been depleted. So the only way you can figure out what is depleting your energy is to actually tune into your body and figure out what your body is trying to tell you. Your body is trying to communicate with you every single day. Every single moment of every single day, your body is communicating to you. Your body is telling you what feels good and what doesn't feel good. Now, a lot of us have gotten to be professionals at ignoring our body's cues. It's become so normal normalize. People normalize stomach problems when stomach problems aren't normal. Like, we're not all meant to have chronic IBS every time we eat a piece of cheese or every time we eat anything with bread or dough in it. That's not necessarily normal, but we normalize these things because we have gotten so used to ignoring our body. So in the same way that you're ignoring your body when it comes to food and how food makes you feel, you're probably doing the same in how people make you feel and how other interactions and things that you're doing make you feel. So you really need to tune into your body and genuinely just start feeling what things make you feel. So this is going to take some trial and error. It's going to take you fucking up a little bit. It's going to take you making mistakes, learning from them, making mistakes again, and so on and so forth. That is how we learn. It is a cycle. It's never going to be linear. It's always going to be a cycle. We're always going to mess up again, but that's fine. So you're going to need to go through some of that. You're going to need to figure out what feels wrong and what feels right. And in order to do that, you need to do the wrong things as well, potentially. Not always, but potentially. And just make a note of the things that are draining you. The people who you spend time with who make you feel like you just need to sleep for a week. The people who give you so much energy and make you feel inspired and motivated and make you want to be the best version of yourself. Write their names down. Start getting super conscious of the things that are draining you and making a log of that so you can refer back to it. That is going to be one of your most helpful tools when it comes to making boundaries and knowing what your body can and cannot tolerate. Something I have learned this year is that our bodies are so strong, our bodies are so resilient, and they do everything in their power to keep us at a balanced level. Yet we continue to ignore the cues that our body's telling us, and it's not fair. Like, I've genuinely started looking at my body as kind of like a separate entity from me and viewing it as an entity who is trying to keep me safe, trying to keep me healthy, trying to keep me balanced and feeling good. If there was an actual person giving me that amount of energy, I would respect them so much. I would be thinking, oh my God, they're giving me all that energy. How amazing. I am going to, in return, do what they require to continue doing that with ease. I'm not going to make their life 10 times harder and be a pain in the ass. I'm going to make their life easier because they're doing everything that they can for me to keep me balanced and alive. So yes, start recognizing your boundaries, start recognizing what feels right and wrong in your body and making a note of it. And if you watched my last video and you are currently in an isolation season, just use this time to get to know what feels right and what feels wrong. Take the time to get to know yourself. In fact, this time when you're isolating and you're not really doing a lot, you're probably going to learn so much about yourself, and that information, that data is so valuable in helping you level up and become the woman of your dreams. If you want to be the woman of your dreams, you need to start respecting yourself and your body in the way that you would respect these other people that you put on a pedestal. You need to start listening to your body, saying no to plans, setting boundaries, and just preserving your energy a little bit, pouring it back into yourself. Tip number 2, take other people off that damn pedestal. Why is it that everybody else needs to be on a pedestal and you always stay down here? Why is that? What is it about that person that makes you feel like you are so inferior and they are so superior? Once you identify this, you are going to be able to see that gap in between who you are and who you potentially want to be, which is this person on a pedestal. What are the traits that you want to embody? What is it about this person that makes them so special, and why can't you have that yourself? Let me tell you that anything that that person has, you can 100% have that exact same thing. I'm going to tell you one big reason that those people are on the pedestal and you are down here apparently. It's because those people are in their own lane. They are preserving their own energy. They are not trying to people please everyone and alter themselves to every single person that they meet. They are not being chameleons. They are living in their purpose. They are being themselves. I genuinely think that I used to put people on a pedestal because I was such a people pleaser and I just wanted to please everybody. So of course everybody else was going to be on a pedestal because a lot of the people in my life, that was the role that they wanted to play. That was where they wanted to be, on the pedestal. So me as a people pleaser, of course I bowed down to that. I was like, oh yes, of course you need to be on the pedestal and I need to be down here and I need to be staying small and fading into the background. No more of that. You do not want to let someone else become the main character of your life. I know what this feels like. I used to feel like I was genuinely a side character in my own life. I was so invested in these people and I had them on such a pedestal and I looked up to them so much that I completely took the focus off myself and what I brought to the table because I was so busy looking up to them and trying to please them in whatever way I could. So I just want you to have a little bit of confidence and know that these people, whatever they have, whatever it is about their aura that is so amazing, you can have that too. It's just going to take a little bit of work. It's going to take the preserving of your energy and the things that I'm going to talk about in this video and the videos to come. And it's just going to take for you to have a little bit of confidence in yourself that you bring a lot to the table, that you are unique, you are individual, you bring something amazing into this world. The only reason why you think that you're not on the pedestal and you're down here is because of your perception. That is completely your perspective of why you are down there and they are up here. You are probably acting like someone who should be down here and they're acting like someone who should be up here. So in order for you to level the playing field a little bit, you need to act like somebody who is up here. You don't need to be bowing down to other people constantly. It is not going to serve you and it's going to keep you stuck and playing small. And that is genuinely the least magnetic thing you could ever do. When I was stuck in these ways and when I was stuck thinking that everybody else was better than me, I was never satisfied. I was never happy within myself, within my own life. I was always wanting more. I was always wanting to be like a different person. I was always wanting to look like a different person. I always wanted to ebb and flow with whatever the beauty standards were, and I was never satisfied. And that is the recipe for somebody who is completely unmagnetic, someone who just rejects completely all of their desires, everything that they ever want. You're just pushing it away because you are not standing in your worth. So next time that you want to think about putting somebody else on a pedestal, just pause for a minute and just think to yourself, why would I put them on a pedestal? Why is anybody else better than me? What is it about myself that I don't like? And what is it that I can work on personally to not feel like that? Because at the end of the day, it's going to be an internal issue that you need to work on personally. It's not going to be changed by anything external in this world. No amount of money, no amount of beauty procedures, no amount of clothes, cars, shoes are ever going to change how you feel inside. So if you start to do the work now, if you start to do the inner work, if you figure out what it is about yourself that you don't like, what you think is inferior, and what you think makes you deserve to be down here while everyone else is up there, what is it and how can you work on that? How can you change that? This work has completely changed my whole entire life. I view myself in such a different way now. I have so much more confidence and it reflects in my life. I used to think that everybody else was on a pedestal, and because of that, the world used to reflect that back to me. The world used to make me feel inferior. It used to make me feel really small and like I didn't deserve a place at the table. But once I started doing the inner work and I started to figure out what it actually was that was making me feel that way, and I worked on that, I have changed my whole state of being and I've changed the way that I show up in the world. So when I walk into a room, I don't feel like anyone is above me or that I shouldn't be in that room. I walk in that room with my head held high, I have my shoulders back, heart chakra beaming out, and I know that my aura is magnetizing. The thing that made me notice this yesterday was, so I was in the office, I was at work, I was just feeling great. I was just feeling myself. I was just being who I am authentically, and I was not trying to put anyone on a pedestal because I just don't do that anymore. And I was just really aware yesterday and I was noticing how people were being to me, and it was no different to how people are usually with me, but I was just really noticing it yesterday. I just noticed that people just wanted to be with me. People wanted to be sitting with me. People wanted to be interacting with me. People were constantly magnetized towards me and just asking me how I am, asking me what I'm doing, being interested in my life, and I never used to find that to be the case. I must have just been so full of gratitude yesterday and feeling so good, but I was just noticing everything that everyone does for me. The way that people treat me is so much different to the way that people used to treat me back in the day. Even last year, people used to treat me so differently, and the only thing that has shifted is the way that I view myself and the way that I show up in the world. When you do that inner work and you realize that other people don't need to be on the pedestal and that you are all on a level playing field, you are going to become so magnetizing. People are going to want to spend so much time with you. People are not going to get enough of you. People will want to be in your presence constantly, and that is when you know that you have a magnetizing aura. Tip number 3, discover your authentic self. Who are you? And get really, really real with yourself in who you actually are. If you're anything like me or how I used to be, I genuinely used to be a different person for every single person that I met. I was never the same person with everyone. I was always different. That was just the way that I learned how to survive in this world. The way to make friends and make connections was to morph myself into whatever that person wanted me to be. I was a chameleon. And while that is good to some degree, it is good to have a little bit of like self-awareness, I guess, and kind of like reading a room a little bit. But like I used to take it extreme, and I used to genuinely be like a different person with everyone. And I used to find that I didn't have any friends. Like I didn't have any true connections. I had so many friends actually. I did have a lot of friends. I had a big friend group, but I really struggled to make any kind of deep connection with any of them. I used to get myself so down in secondary school because I used to remember that everyone in my friend group, we were all friends as a collective, but they all had their own things going on. They all had their own best friend. They all had their little mini groups inside of the group. Everyone seemed to have all these genuine connections, and everyone seemed to be so authentically themselves and not ashamed to be themselves. Whereas I was so scared to be myself. I was so scared to show who I truly was to people. And I just used to pretend to be a certain person who was digestible for everyone to get along with. And I used to think that that was the reason why I had so many friends, because I was just so easy to get on with. And that probably was the case. People probably wanted to be my friend because I was just easy to get along with. It was no bother me being there in their company. But as I got older, I realized that I don't want those kind of friendships. I don't want those acquaintances who I feel like I just kind of know and I can call them my friends, but they're not truly my friends. I don't have a close, deep connection with them. That for me is so important, to feel like I am actually connecting with people and forming a deep bond with them. And the only way that you are going to do that is by being your true, most authentic self. So what helped me overcome this and actually discover who I even was, because after years of doing that, after years of being a chameleon, you best believe that I actually didn't know who the fuck I was. I genuinely didn't know who I was. I didn't know what my identity was at all. So it took me a lot of soul searching and a lot of shadow work, which is what I was going to say is what helped me, to help me discover who I even was. So essentially with shadow work, I do have a video on shadow work, which I will link. You're going to want to get really deep and really honest with yourself about the traits that you have that you might have suppressed or pushed down. So you might be really embarrassed to be your authentic self because when you was a child, somebody shamed you for doing so. Somebody shamed you for doing that thing. I mentioned this in that video, but there was a time when I was in primary school and I was sat with my friend at the dinner table. I was just eating my food and we wasn't even talking, we were just eating, and she sat there and she goes, shh. And I'm like, girl, what the fuck? I'm not even talking, and blah, blah, blah. I explained all this in the other video, but basically she just kept saying shh and not explaining what she meant because I was so confused because I wasn't talking and she wasn't talking. And basically it was because she could hear me chewing. So ever since that day, I was so paranoid to even chew and eat around people. I didn't dare eat in my office when I got my first office job. I didn't dare eat anywhere because I didn't want other people to think that I was a loud eater or to hear me chewing. So I remember I just used to not eat a lot. Like I used to eat when I was on my own, and that led into a whole thing of other issues like binge eating, but that's for another day. But yeah, these things that we kind of suppress and push down, so me not wanting to eat in front of other people because I felt like I was a loud eater, which I don't, like I'm not, like I eat like a normal human being anyway. But yeah, these things that we push down, when you're doing shadow work, you really are bringing them to the surface again. And the more that you become aware of them and the more that you recognize them and recognize that they're actually not as weird as what you think, the things that you're embarrassed about aren't actually that weird, and they are probably the things that other people are going to be attracted to when you express them. If you are hiding those things from the world and even from yourself and you're not aware of them, you're blocking yourself off to so many blessings. All of the things that you say that you want, you're probably blocking yourself off from it because you're not expressing yourself authentically. How do you expect to be living in your purpose and to be living your best, most authentic life if you're not being authentic yourself and you're not being honest with yourself about who you are? The more work that I've done on this and the more work that I continue to do on this, because it's not going to be an overnight thing. You're not going to remember and resurface all of the things that you've pushed down for all these years overnight. It's just not going to happen. But the more that you do that, the more that you're going to notice that you are just so magnetizing and that people just want to be around you. People want to spend more time with you. And what you're also going to find is that it will probably filter out the people who aren't meant to be in your life. A good example of this is in my last relationship. I remember like I put on such a front for the whole entire fucking relationship. relationship, like I was the cool girl, okay? And then when shit hit the fan and loads of things started going wrong in my life, I got mauled by a dog, my dad had to have his kidney removed, and everything just started going wrong in my life, and I couldn't handle it, I couldn't cope with it. Once I let my guard down and once I was in that vulnerable state, because this person didn't recognize that vulnerable state and didn't know how to deal with it because I'd just been so easygoing and easy breezy the whole entire relationship, that is ultimately what kind of pushed him to want to leave the relationship and for the relationship to end. But all that to say is that if you're not being your most authentic self, you are not going to be attracting authentic experiences and authentic people, and you're not going to be magnetizing to the things that you need to bring into your life. So you need to get honest with yourself and embrace all of the quirky little weird things about yourself. Embrace your clumsiness. Embrace the fact that maybe you're a loud eater. Embrace the fact that you are very naturally loud as a person. Your natural volume is very high. Just embrace it all, because once you start embracing it all and once you just start being fully yourself and fully vulnerable, people feel that. People want to see that. People want to see your vulnerability. They want to feel like they can connect with an actual human being and not just this perfect, polished version of yourself that you are trying to show the world. Just be you, okay? That is probably the most important tip in this whole entire video, to just be yourself, because that is going to be the ultimate thing that allows you to become magnetizing to everything that you've ever wanted. And tip number 4, stepping into your divine feminine energy. Now, I am not a feminine energy coach. I don't know that much about it. I actually don't know much about it at all. I just feel like I am saying this from a place of personal experience and just an innate knowing of what feminine energy is and what it feels like in my body. Stop with the false sense of urgency. Stop thinking that you need to rush everything. Stop thinking that you need everything now, and that you need to be extra productive and work extra hard so that you can have everything that you want right this second. Stop with that and just breathe for a second. Allow yourself to just breathe. Oh my God, I need to breathe after even saying it. When I think about stepping into my divine feminine energy, I think about slowing the fuck down, breathing, grounding, being in touch with my body, being in touch with myself, having quiet time, being with myself in solitude, all of these things. I also find that when I'm in my feminine energy, my divine feminine energy, I just have a natural inclination to just slow down a little bit and to not feel like I need to rush everything. Start taking your time with day-to-day tasks. So when you go in the shower, take your time washing your body and exfoliating your body and breathing in and smelling all the amazing scents of your shower gel. Taking the time to massage your scalp while you are washing your hair, and doing everything so slowly. Even from moisturizing, do everything with intention. Even when you are washing the dishes, feel what it feels like for the warm water to be running on your hands. Feel what it feels like to have the bubbles lathering up in your hands. Just take in every single moment and use all of your senses if you can, and just slow down and appreciate the present moment. That is truly one of the best ways that I get into feminine energy, because it just allows me to be so in touch with myself and so tuned into the present moment. When you are tuned into the present moment and when you are in your divine feminine energy, you are going to notice that you are going to start attracting divine masculine energy. You're going to start attracting all of the things that you've ever wanted, because naturally the things that you want are going to be attracted to you when you are in that state, when you're in that relaxed, not desperate, high frequency state of feminine energy. You will 100% notice if you go in the shower and you're really quick, you're rushing, you're washing your hair really quickly, you get out of the shower, you dry really quickly, you just quickly slap on some moisturizer, you're gonna tell the difference between how that feels and then when you actually take a slow, intentional shower, do everything slowly, take in every single moment, moisturize your body slowly, allow it to sink in before you put your clothes on. You're gonna feel the difference within your mind, but also physically within your body. Your skin is gonna feel softer. Everything is gonna feel so much nicer because you've done it with love and you've done it with intention. That to me is the epitome of feminine energy. Like I say, I'm not an expert. I don't watch all the videos on feminine energy. I know that it's a big thing, but that is just truly how I embody feminine energy and how I feel it within my body. Just relax a little bit, slow everything down, stop feeling like you need to rush everything, stop feeling like there is a ticking time bomb on your life. life. You don't need to rush. You don't need to be panicking. You don't need to be in this constant state of hustle and stress. You can just be in your feminine energy. Obviously, there's a balance. Obviously, sometimes you do need to be in your masculine energy and get things done, which is completely fine, completely healthy. But I think that if you're trying to be more magnetizing, I 100% find that I attract the most blessings and the most amazing things and people into my life when I am in my feminine energy. Feminine energy is, in my personal experience, attractive. People are attracted to that. Just think about it. You don't want to be around someone if they are constantly so frantic, so busy, so not in the present. You don't want to be with that person. You don't want to be spending time with them because it's frantic. It's giving crazy vibes. You want to be with the person who is cool, calm, and collected, who is relaxed, who is emotionally regulated, who knows how to deal with a certain situation, who knows how to sit back and observe before reacting. You naturally want to be with people like that. So just think about everything that you desire, whether it be a thing, a material thing, or whether it be a person, an experience, everything that you desire, just think of it in that way. Like, think of those things, not wanting to be around someone who has got desperate, frantic energy. Think about it like that, and you will start to alter the way that you move in the world, the way that you do certain things, and the way that you think and react to things. That is something that is going to make you so magnetizing to everything that you've ever wanted. Okay guys, they were all of the tips that I'm going to share with you guys in this video. I am 100% going to do another video on all the other tips that I have, because when I was scripting this video, oh my god, I was just doing a brainstorm on this video of things to talk about, and I had so many points that I wanted to talk about. I found it so hard to just narrow it down to 4 things. So 100% there is going to be more videos on this, because I love talking about this topic. It is something that has truly changed my life and changed the way that I just show up in the world. Being a magnet to your desires and being a magnet to all of the things that you have in this life, it's just a great feeling. It's just great. It feels so good. And yeah, they're just the things that I have done in the past year that have dramatically altered the way that I present in this world, the way that I attract certain experiences and certain things into my life. It is crazy the amount of amazing things that happen to me on a daily basis, the amount of synchronicities, the amount of universal downloads that I get, the amount of just everything amazing happening. It's just crazy. These things don't happen unless I am implementing the tips that I have told you in this video. I hope you guys are doing so well. Also, I don't know if any of you guys can help me, but I really need a new mascara. I don't know if you've noticed, but I don't wear mascara in any of my videos really. I don't think I've worn mascara in like really any videos this year, because my eyes are sensitive. My eyes get so sore, so itchy, and I really struggle to take mascara off. I don't know what it is. Like, I use all the cleansers, I've got oil cleansers, everything, but I just cannot seem to get it off for some reason. So if any of you guys have got a recommendation on a good mascara that is preferably waterproof, even though I know that contradicts the fact that I can never get it off, but anyway, waterproof is important. And yeah, something that just doesn't irritate my eyes is obviously a good mascara as well, because I do want to start wearing mascara. I feel like that is what is missing from this face of makeup right now. I miss it a lot, but I don't know. It's kind of not worth me getting the styes and the red itchy eyes. I'm not about that life. So if any of you guys have got a recommendation for a good mascara that I can get in the UK, that would be very gratefully received information. Thank you guys so much for watching and supporting all of my videos. It means the absolute world to me. I hope you all have an amazing week, and I will see you next week. Bye.